I'm Nadia. Welcome. I'm going to teach a sequence that I taught at a workshop that was a runner's workshop. This is also for anybody that's sitting in chairs. It's actually for anyone. So just let's come down to sitting. Join me on the floor. Come into a nice cross-legged position. And place the hands onto the knees, relax the elbows, and just take a few big, deep breaths. Close with the eyes, relax. The jaw and teeth are slightly apart, breathing in and out through the nose. Really engage the diaphragmatic breathing, so really breathe into the belly. Now we're going to engage the belly and the core breath. As we inhale, I want you to think about drawing up the pelvic floor muscle, also thinking about lifting, lengthening the spine. And with the end of the exhale, you're going to draw the lower abdominal in towards the back of the spine. So inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, drawing it. And I want you to use this engagement of the breath and the core throughout this practice today. Keeping the breath in and out through the nose, as this helps relax the muscles, the body, and the mind. A few more breaths here. Now let's open the eyes. Catch a hold of the knees with the hands, and I want you to draw the belly in, curling the back, rounding the shoulders. Really use the hands so you can lean back but not topple over. And we're going to use the hands onto the knees, so we're going to lean to the left, take the weight onto the right side of me, pulling the hands into the knees to bring the chest forward. Then we're going to lean onto the right side, catching a hold of the right knee, really feel that stretch. And then rounding, coming back to our beginning position. Then we're going to go to the right again, bring the chest forward, and then going to the left, holding on to that right knee, really leaning into that side, coming back into the starting position. Now we're going to go the other way, so go to the left, holding on to the right knee, bring the chest forward, coming around, and then going to the left, the right, pardon me, and then coming back to that beginning position. One more side, going to the left, bring the chest forward, making that beautiful circle movement with the spine and the chest, and then coming back. And we're going to come onto our hands and knees. So line up the wrists underneath the shoulders. Tilt the tailbone up, roll the shoulders back. We're going to go into happy cat. Drop the head round the back, tuck the tailbone, push the palms into the floor. Then inhale, lift, lengthen. So drop the pelvic floor muscle. Roll the shoulders back as you pull the hands in towards the knees. Really get that front body stretch. And exhale. We're going to stretch the back. So push the palms away. Trying to push the body away, dropping the head. Inhale, lift. Start with the tailbone. Bring the head up last. And exhale. Drop the head using that first, and then tailbone last. Last time, lifting and lengthening. And exhale, dropping the head. Coming back to neutral. We're going to get into a shoulder twist. You're going to extend the left fingers forward. You're going to thread the right arm through, resting the right side of the head and the shoulder onto the floor. Keep that engagement with that left hand onto the floor. And just hang out here with the beautiful belly breath, still engaging the core with the breath. And so we can get nice and deep into that beautiful shoulders. Getting in between the spine that runs between the shoulder blades. Really breathe in here. If you want, you can also take the hand behind the back and then it'll catch a hold of the opposite leg. So left hand, right leg. So it gets a bit deeper. If you're quite fairly new, haven't done much yoga, I advise just to leave the hand onto the floor. Again, it's your own judgment. It's your practice, so there'll be a few different options, and I want you to work with what works best with your body. One more big breath. And we're going to release the hand to the floor, push the palm into the floor, taking the right hand back onto the floor. And now we're going to do what I call wagging the dog's tail. So we're going to take the hips to the left. You're going to look towards the left. And then inhale through the center. Exhale to the right. Look towards the right, hips towards the right. Inhale back through the center and then to the left. Look towards the left. And then in back through the center, to the right, look towards the right. Really feel the spine. Back through the center on the inhale, exhale to the left. Inhale and then exhale to the right. Last round. Inhale to the left, exhale. Inhale through the center, exhale to the right. Then back through. Now we're going to do the other side with the twist. So now reaching that right hand, threading the left arm through, resting the side of the head and the shoulder onto the floor. I want you to claw that right hand and taking big deep breaths, trying to feel the front, the side, and the back of the rib cage. Really breathing deeply into this beautiful stretch. And that option again applies on this side, taking the hand behind the back and binding with the opposite leg. So that's the right hand and that's the left thigh. Really be aware of your breath, making sure you're not holding the breath. 2 more breaths to go. Inhale. Exhale. Place the right hand onto the floor. Push, placing the left hand back onto the floor. So we're going to come into downward facing dog. So always line up the shoulders and the wrists together, spreading the fingers, middle finger going forward. Now curl the toes under, push the hips back and up. Keep the knees bent for those who've got tight hamstrings, and then releasing the heels down for those who don't. So hands are shoulder width apart, feet hip width apart, spreading the toes, spreading the fingers as wide as you can for both. Still tilting the tailbone up, pushing the hips back. 2 more big breaths here. And we're going to come through, we're going to step the feet through. As we step the feet through, we're going to take them in front of us, and we're going to come down into lying on our backs. We're going to do some core work. So we're going to start rolling down using our core, point the toes, activate the quadriceps, draw the belly in. Try not to let the gravity take you down, rolling nice and controlled, coming down rather than just dropping. Now you're going to bend the knees. And I want you to bring that awareness to your lower back. Notice there's a slight natural curve on your lower back. And I just want you to be aware of that because we don't want to have that too open. We want to draw it in, support it against the floor. So drawing in the lower abdominal towards the back of the spine, flattening it out against the floor. And I want you to be aware when we do this core work, this is what you want. Some people will have it flat against the floor. Depending on your body structure, you might still have that natural little curve, as long as you have that engagement. So as soon as you feel that lifting up, then you need to pull back a bit. Now we're going to take the arms out to the side. I like to take them in cactus, so that's 90-degree angle, or you can just take them straight up, but with the palms facing up. Now bring the knees, so they're squeezing, the feet are touching, knees are touching the whole time, and you're going to bring the knees into the chest. From here, I want you to again be aware of the spine and the core connection with the floor. So we're going to inhale, exhale, take the legs out. Inhale, bring them in. Exhale, lift the hips, straighten the legs. Then slowly bend the knees, release the hips down, nice and controlled. And then inhale, extend the legs out. Exhale, bring them in and raise the hips, straighten the legs. Then slowly coming back down again. Extending the legs out. Bring the knees into the chest. Lift and raise. And then bringing them back in. Extend out. We're going to do a few more. If you want to pause the video and do more, you can. We're limited on time. This is an hour, so we want to make sure we don't go over it too much. One more. Extend the legs out. Really feel that engagement of the core. We want a nice strong core. When we have a nice strong core, then we've got support for the spine. Now we're going to do twist work, which is keeping the knees into the chest, squeezing them, and they're going to come in towards the armpits as we bring them to each side. The knees don't touch the floor, they stay off, hover the floor. So we're going to start with the right. You're going to take them to the right armpit, to the side, look over the opposite shoulder, left, pause there, and then inhale back through, and then exhale to the other side, left, and then look over the right shoulder. Pause there, but not pausing the breath. And then inhale back through. And then exhale to the other side, looking over. Pause. And then come back through. And then the other side, and pause. Back through again. And then back again. Nice big deep breaths here. As we go, left side, looking over the right. And then come through. We're going to go one more round to the right, look over the left, and then back through again. And come back through. So a bit of a challenge coming up. It's a nice wee core challenge. So you're going to straighten the legs. You're going to come flat to the floor. Again, keep that engagement, drawing in. I want you to interlace the thumbs and the fingers behind the head. We're going to raise the head and the elbows off the floor. You're going to raise the legs. Keep them up. Curl up nice and slow, coming up. And we're up to sitting. Now we're going to cross the legs. We're going to roll over and step back into downward facing dog. Again, for those with tight hamstrings, hips, bend the knees. Think about really pushing the hips back. Try to create that length, that nice, beautiful length in the spine. Others releasing the heels, holding there for just a few breaths. Keep bringing the front ribs. Try not to let the ribs go. Keep them coming into the back. Front ribs into the back. And then releasing the knees back onto the floor. So we're going to come and do another sequence, which you have a choice of either coming and doing it in tabletop or in downward facing dog. I am going to be bouncing between the two to show you. So just pick one. For those who haven't done much yoga, I advise just to stay in tabletop. Otherwise, you can do in downward facing dog. So the knees, if you're on tabletop, the knees are going to come in a little bit closer. And if those in downward facing dog, normally feet are hip width apart, but we're going to bring them in about an inch or two apart. From here, we're going to start with the right leg. We're going to extend it out. We're going to point the toe, lift the leg up nice and high. And if you're in downward facing dog, it's the same thing. Now we're going to bend the knee. Take the heel to the opposite buttock. So raising the leg up to the side and backing over, the knee backing over. Same with downward facing dog. So feeling a bit of a stretch. From there, we're going to take the knee out to the side. Keep the knee bent throughout this. Bring the knee into the chest and then bring it back and over. Same thing with tabletop. Out to the side, into the chest, back and over. Now we're going to go the other way. So you're going to bring it into the chest, take the knee out to the side, back and over. And for downward facing dog, it's the same thing. Bring it into the chest, out to the side, back and over. And then release the knee or the foot to the floor. Now we're going to do the other side. So raise the left leg, point the toe, lift it up nice and high. Bend the knee, take the heel to the opposite buttocks. Keep the knee bent, take it out to the side, doing beautiful hip circles, bring it into the chest, and then back and over. And then out to the side, into the chest, back and over. Now we're going to reverse it. We're going to bring it into the chest, out to the side, back and over, and then into the chest, out to the side, back and over. And then release the foot to the floor. Those in downward facing dog, you're going to come into tabletop. Now we're going to come into wide knee child's pose. Knees wide apart, push the hips back, coming down for a few breaths. And walk the hands back, knees back. Coming back onto your hands and knees. Curling those toes under, push the hips back and up, coming into downward facing dog. I'm going to look forward, we're going to step the feet up. Feet are just slightly hip width apart. Keep the knees soft, we're not going into a deep hamstring, we're looking at the shoulders. So interlace the thumbs and the fingers, take the arms overhead, allow the neck to be relaxed and heavy, and the head heavy. And we're going to take a few big, deep belly breaths here. Really breathing into the shoulder stretch. And we're going to release the hands. Allow the arms to be just heavy hanging, head heavy and hanging still. And we're going to walk the feet out. We're going to come into a squat. So you want the feet wider than the hips. Sometimes some people find it a little bit wider better. So you're going to raise the balls of the feet, rotate them out so you're coming into like a duck walk. So some of us who are bending from the hips and the knees are going to start lowering it down. You might just want to leave the fingertips onto the floor. That's your destination. But keep the length in the spine or take the elbows to the knees. For others who can lower the hips all the way down, keeping the feet onto the floor, push the left elbow into the left knee, right elbow into the right knee. Press the palms together. Lift up the chest. Lengthen the spine. Soften the shoulders. Really think about that beautiful lift and lengthen. As you take the tailbone down, lift up the chest in either position. So you still have the shoulders soft, lifting up the chest. 2 more big breaths here, working, getting into the hips. We're going to release the hands. Walk heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Tuck the tailbone, rolling the spine, coming up. We're going to do a shoulder roll. Inhale, roll up, back and down. So we're going to do sun salute A, so bringing the feet together. Let's lift the toes, spread them as wide as you can, earth them into the floor. Push the shins to the calves, lifting up the kneecaps. So we're activating the quadriceps and creating length. So we tuck the tailbone, not squeezing the glutes, but tucking the tailbone, lifting up the front hip bones. You'll start feeling that core activation. Now we're going to inhale, roll the shoulders up, exhale, roll them back and down. So you're still feeling that lift of the chest and the shoulders down. We're going to inhale, raise the arms up, press the palms, look up. Exhale, fold forward, draw the belly in. Inhale, we're going to lift and lengthen, either fingertips to the floor or to the shins. Exhale, fold forward. Press the palms into the floor. We're just going to step back into plank. Keep the shoulder and the hips in line, core engaged. You can drop the knees. Fold from the elbows. Try to hover over the floor if you can. Inhale, roll forward into dog up, looking up. Exhale, curl the toes under. Push the hips back and up. Holding here for a few breaths. Really, keep the knees bent if you need to. Keep tilting the tailbone up, engaging the quadriceps, pushing the fleshy mound between the thumb and the wrist into the floor. Look forward. We're going to step the feet up towards the hands. We're going to lift the chest forward, shoulders down, legs straight, either to the shins, fingers to the shins or to the floor, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, tuck the tailbone, rolling up, coming up, press the palms together, look up. Exhale, release the hands through heart center. So if your feet aren't touching, knees are touching, bring them back together. We're going to come into sun salute base. So we're going to inhale, squat, tuck the tailbone, bring the arms and torso slightly to the vertical, looking up. Exhale, fold forward, draw the belly in. Inhale, straighten the legs, take the chest forward, shoulder blades down the back, either to the fingers to the floor or to the shins. Exhale, fold forward, spread the fingers. Now you can either step or jump back into plank. Again, keeping the shoulders in line with the hips, engaging the quadriceps and the core, fold from the elbows, bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, roll forward into dog up, look up. Exhale, curl the toes under, push the hips back and up. We're going to step the right foot through. Just curl that left toe to start off with. Making sure the feet are still hip width apart. Drop the heel slightly down and in, bending the right knee. Inhale, raise the arms up, look up. Exhale, come back down. Curl the left toe. Bring the right knee into the chest, step the foot back. Fold from the elbows coming down. Inhale, roll forward into dog up. Exhale, curl the toes under, push the hips back and up. Now the other side, we're going to step the left foot through. Curl the right toes to start off with. Make sure the feet are hip width apart. Drop the heel slightly down and in. Bend, keep the left knee bent. Inhale, raise the arms up, look up. Exhale, come back down. Curl the right toe. Bring the knee into the chest. Step the foot back. Fold from the elbows coming down. Inhale, roll forward. Really roll the shoulders. Push the baby toes into the floor, look up. Exhale. Curl the toes under, push the hips back and up. Downward facing dog for a few breaths. If you want to do a few more extra downward facing dog, the sun salute B or at sun salute A, press pause, do a few more. It's a good way to just even doing that before a run or after a run is great. One more big breath. Look forward, step the feet up between the hands, feet touching, knees touching. Lift the chest, look towards the middle of the forehead. Exhale, fold forward, soften the knees. Squat, take the hips back, bring the arms and the torso slightly to the vertical, looking up. Exhale, release the hands through heart center. Inhale, we're going to raise the arms up, look up. Exhale, fold forward, draw the belly in. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, fingertips to the floor of the shins. Exhale, fold forward, spread the fingers. Step or jump back into plank. Hips in line with the shoulders, fold from the elbows coming down. Inhale, roll forward into dog up, look up. Exhale, curl the toes under, push the hips back and up. Coming on to the hands and knees. Line up with the wrist and your shoulders, spreading the fingers, fanning them out. Bring the knees in a little bit closer. So for this sequence, you want to make sure the ribs are coming in towards the back of the spine. So we're going to start with the right leg. We're going to extend it out, heel out, dorsiflexation. So engaging the core, engaging the quadricep. One more breath here. We're going to exhale, take the leg out to the side, 45, dorsiflexing the foot. Then inhale, point the toe, tap the right foot across onto the left side of the body on the opposite side, looking over that left shoulder. Then inhale back through, dorsiflex the foot, extend the leg out to the side, 45. Use your glutes. Inhale, point the toe, tap it across, looking over that left shoulder. Now we're going to inhale, exhale, extend the Heel out, dorsiflex. And now going back across, dorsiflex the foot, keep it dorsiflex. We're curl the toes under, ball the foot onto the floor. Right hand, we're going to extend to the corner of the left. You can bend that left elbow looking over through that left shoulder. Keep extending that back leg nice and straight and strong. A few more breaths here. Inhale, come up. Place the right hand. Extend the heel back, dorsiflex. Now take the leg out to the side, 45. Use that glute. 2 breaths. And release the foot to the floor. Tuck the tailbone, we're going to come up. So doing a bit of a side body stretch. Right hand onto the right leg, just sliding down, nice and light, nice and strong. Lift that left arm up, palm facing the ear. As you do that, think about lifting out of the hips. Then exhale, fold onto that right side, stretching the left side of the body. A few more breaths here, keeping the chin in towards that left armpit, extending over. Inhale, come up. Release the arms. Then step the right foot forward. You're back here. You're going to look back. Make sure that shin and that calf is in line with the left hip. Knee over the ankle, right knee over the ankle, right hand onto the knee, left hand on top of the right hand. I don't want you to just concave the lower back and let go of the belly. I want you to draw in, lift, and lengthen, tucking the tailbone down. So we're getting a bit deeper into that front hip flexor, not lifting with the shoulders. Keep them down. Keep that engagement with the core. Inhale, lifting and lengthening. Exhale, drawing in. 2 more big breaths here. Now we're going to move the hand into the middle of the femur, the thigh. And you're going to start straighten that right leg, bring the toes up towards the ceiling. Some of you who are a little bit tighter in the hamstrings, you're going to stay here. Some of you might reach down to the floor or even reach forward. Keep that length in the spine. Lift up the chest, shoulders down. Toes up towards the ceiling. If it's too intense, relax. But otherwise, you want to get deep into those hamstrings. 2 more big breaths. Really feel the front, the side, the back of the rib cage. And then exhale, we're going to release the sole of the foot coming to the floor. You can come up high into the fingertips. You're going to curl the left toes. Lift the knee up. Look back. Make sure your feet are hip width apart and that you're pushing from the big toe to little toe to the floor. Still that knee and ankle are in alignment. Tuck the tailbone. Use the core to come up. Take the hands to the hips. Try not to just sink down. Think about a bit of lift. So keeping the knee bent over the ankle. Back leg nice and straight and strong. Keep that lift going in the chest. Try not to lean or drop forward. Keep the lift. The back of the crown of the head raising up. Now we're going to inhale, raise the arms up. Roll the shoulders down. Keep the lift in front of the body. You can bring the arms slightly forward to the body if your shoulders are quite tight and you can't seem to drop them away from the ears. 1 more breath here. Keep the arms up. We're going to drop the left knee to the floor. Keep the back toe curls under. Bring the hands to Namaste prayer position. Now we're going to rotate. Take that left elbow across the right knee. Push that elbow into the knee. Lift up the chest. Exhale. Rotate. Look over that right shoulder. Some who want to go a bit deeper can lift the knee up. Taking a few breaths here. And then if you want to go even deeper, you can extend the left hand to the floor, right hand up. Two more big breaths. Lower the knee, release the hands, bring them back onto the floor. Now you're going to release that back foot, so top of the foot is onto the floor, walking the right foot out wide so both hands come into the center of the body. That right knee, make sure so it's not sticking forward, but wiggle that heel back. Whoops. Wiggle that heel back underneath the knee. Take that foot out as wide as you feel comfortable. You can curl the left toes under just so to help bring to above the knee onto the mat, or you can also fold the mat for extra cushioning. So we're going to raise the ball of the foot, rotate the foot out, release the foot, but so the sole of the foot's off the floor, but the edge of the foot is onto the floor. We're going to hold here for a few breaths as we allow the hips to become heavy and forward, really opening the front hip flexor, getting into the glutes, into the hamstring. Now we're going to line up the wrist and the shoulder. You're going to take the right hand onto the right femur, and roll out that thigh looking over that right shoulder. And if you want to go a bit deeper, you can bend the left knee, reach back with the right foot. Still allow that right knee to drop out, still lifting up the chest, creating length, looking over that right shoulder. Really breathe into the belly, out to the ribs, expanding, and keeping that core engagement. And we're going to slowly, if you're catching hold of the foot, release. Don't let it drop. Nice and even. We're both bringing the hands in and walk that foot back. Ooh, you should feel that now into that hip. Line up. We're going to curl the left toes, lift them up, drop the foot at 45. Line up, head the right heel with the back left arch. Now you can whirlwind the arms up to come up into warrior two. So as we're here, we want to extend out through the fingertips, shoulders away from the ears. Try not to drop the belly. Think about lifting and tucking that tailbone down, extending knee over ankle. Back leg nice and straight and strong as we drop the left hand down, rotate the palm up. Then we're going to lean back, keeping that right knee bent over the ankle, bringing the chin towards that right armpit. Making sure this back leg is nice and strong. Try not to bend that back leg. Inhale, we're going to come up. Take the forearm to the knee, bring the knee over the ankle, extend the left hand up, palm facing away. Now we're going to take that hand behind the back and we're going to catch hold of the right leg if you feel comfortable, or just resting onto the back. Now this right elbow, you're going to push it into the knee, lift the chest, lengthen. Then exhale, look over that left shoulder. Keep lifting out of the hips, lifting out of the chest, lengthening the spine. Two more big breaths here. You might be feeling the legs burn. That's okay. We're working them. Just not about strength, but flexibility. And release the hands. Curl the left toe, push the hips back, walk the foot back with the left. You can pad the feet out if you want. You might notice that difference between both sides. That's okay. It's good, it's working. We're going to look forward. We're going to step the feet through. Feet are going to be hip width apart. For those, we're all going to start off with bending the knees. You're going to catch hold of the big toe with the first two fingers and thumbs. We're going to lift the chest, look towards the middle of the forehead. Then keep that lift. Tuck the chin in towards the back of the throat. So you have that nice straight line from the back of the neck down the spine. Now I want you to think about more or less raising the sit bones rather than rounding the back. Raising, keep the length with the chest. Elbows can be pointing out to the outside of the body. Keep the chin in tucked towards the back of the throat so you're not chin jutting. and really getting into those hamstrings. Always thinking about raising those sit bones up, engaging the quadriceps, so lifting up the kneecaps. One more breath. And we're going to release the toes. We're going to come into our squat to walk the feet out. So we're going to pivot onto the heels, turning the toes out. So it's like walking like a duck, bending from the hips and the knees. So again, options, fingers to the floor, lifting up the chest, or taking the elbows to the knees. Or if you can drop, coming down, bring the elbows into the knees, pushing the elbows into the knees, knees back into the elbows, lift up the chest. Bring the hands into Namaste prayer position because that helps. Pushing with that resistance between the elbows into the knees, and then it helps with that lift. Use the pelvic floor muscle to help lift up and lengthen. Now just for the next 2 breaths, I want you to be aware between the right and the left hip. Notice the difference between the legs. And we're going to exhale, release the hands. And then start going heel, toe, bring the feet back together, tuck the tailbone, coming all the way up. Bring the arms together, palms together. Exhale, release the hands through heart center. Let's do a shoulder roll. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, roll back and down. Inhale, raise the arms up, press the palms together, look up. Exhale, fold forward, draw the belly in, coming down. Now we're going to straighten the legs, take the chest forward, either fingertips to the floor, to the shins. Exhale, fold forward. Spread the fingers. You're going to step or jump back into plank. Staying in plank, we're going to do a bit of core work. We're going to bring the left knee to the left elbow. So we're going to inhale, exhale, left knee, left elbow. Step back. The other side. Inhale, exhale, right knee, right elbow. Step back. Again, inhale, exhale, left elbow, left knee, step back. Right side, right elbow, right knee, step back. Fold from the elbows coming down. Inhale, roll forward into dog up, look up. Exhale, curl the toes under, push the hips back and up. Coming back onto your hands and knees, and we're going to repeat everything we just done onto the other side. Yes, line up the wrists with the shoulders, coming into your tabletop. Bring the knees together. And now we're going to do the left leg. So extend, raise the left leg. Dorsiflex the foot. Remember, extend the heel, toes in towards the shins. Bring the front ribs in towards the back ribs so you're not swaying the lower back, keeping the core engaged. Just holding there for 2 more breaths. And we're going to exhale, take the leg up to the side. 45. Inhale, back through, point the toe. Take the foot to the opposite right side, look over that right shoulder. And then inhale, back out, dorsiflex the foot, then exhale to the side. Inhale, point the toe, go across, top of the foot onto the floor, looking over that right shoulder. Inhale, back up, dorsiflex the foot. Exhale, take it out to the side, 45. Really working that glute. Now we're going to take it back through the inhale, but keep the foot dorsiflex. So you're going to curl the right toes, ball the foot onto the floor. You're going to extend that left hand to the right corner, looking over that right shoulder. Back leg nice and straight and engaged. Breathing beautiful big breaths in and out through the nose. Inhale, release the hand. We're going to release the foot back, dorsiflex it. Then exhale, take it out to the side. We're holding here. Really start to engage that glute. Really feel working it. And we're going to release the foot to the floor. Sole the foot flat. Tuck the tailbone. We're going to come up. Do a side body stretch. Left hand onto the left leg. We're going to extend the right hand up, palm facing the ear. Now lift up the hips. Lift and lengthen. Then exhale. We're going to fold onto that left side. Really feel feeling that side of the right side of the body. Take the chin in towards that right armpit. Big breaths here. Feeling the front, the side, the back, the ribs, getting into the belly. Inhale, come back up, release the arm. Step the left foot through. Coming into there. Now look back, make sure that outside edge of that right shin and calf is in line with the outside of the right hip. You're going to place the left hand onto the knee, take the right hand on top. So wiggle that foot around to make sure the knee and ankle are in line. Try not to let go of the belly and just drop the hips forward. Think about a bit of a lift. So you're tucking the tailbone, lifting up the front hip bones, core engaged, also using that pelvic floor muscle to help lengthen the spine. Just holding here for a few breaths to start warming up that right side of the hip flexor. Now from here, we're going to take that hand onto the middle of the femur, the left femur. We're going to start extending that left leg, straightening it. Some of you might just stay upright with the dorsiflexing the foot. Some of you might come to the floor if you can reach, or even reach forward. Keep thinking about the lift and the length in the chest as best as you can, taking that left hip back. Try to dorsiflex the foot, so bring the toes up towards the ceiling. If it's too intense, relax the foot. A few more big breaths here to go. Just warming up that hamstring a bit more. Now we're going to release the sole of the foot to the floor. So wiggle that foot back. So it's underneath the ankle and the knee are in line. Curl the right toe under, lift that knee up. Now look back, make sure your feet are hip width apart. Do any adjustment you need, and you're pushing from the big toe to the little toe. Tuck the tailbone, come up. Hands onto the hips. Back leg's not bent, it's straight, extending the heel back. Nice and strong. Again, create that lift, but bending from the knee, not the waist or the back leg. Nice big breaths here. And we're going to inhale, raise the arms up. Roll the shoulders back and down, extend through the fingertips. Arms nice and straight, palms facing each other. Again, you can bring the arms slightly forward. If you're struggling to bring those shoulders down, they're squeezing up towards the ears. So roll them back and down. One more breath here. And then release the knee, keeping the arms up above to start off with. Then bring them down to Namaste prayer position. Take the right elbow across the left knee. I always make a bit of an adjustment here. Press the palms together. Push that elbow into the knee, lift and lengthen. Look over that left shoulder. Then you got the choice of raising the right leg up. If you want to go a bit deeper. And then even further, extending the right hand to the floor, left arm up towards the ceiling, looking up. A bit harder to breathe in the twist, but keep trying to bring that focus, feeling the front, the side, and the back of the ribs. And then last breath. Release the knee to the floor. Release the hands to the floor. Walk this foot out. Release the back leg. So this knee, we still want to have knee over ankle. Walking it out. Raise the ball of the foot, rotate the foot out. As you do, and you release it down, sole of the foot's coming off the floor, outside edge is onto the floor. I like to adjust that back leg by curling the toes under, just so I come more above the knee rather than right onto the knee. Or you can fold the mat, put it under the knee. Just allow here for just a few breaths as the hips get settled. Be aware if you're quite tight, you might be holding the breath. So make sure you're still breathing fully. Now line up the wrist and the shoulder. Catch hold of that thigh, rolling the thigh out, looking over that left shoulder. A few big breaths here. And then for those who want to go even further, you can raise the right foot, catch hold with the left hand. Still allowing that knee to drop, still lifting and lengthening the spine, looking over that left shoulder. So it gets a bit deeper into the quadricep. So if you sit for long periods of time, this little bit that we're doing right now is great to get those hips going. One more big breath. And if you're catching hold of the foot, try not to drop it. Let it go, let it drop, just nice and slow and controlled. Bring both hands to the floor, walking the foot back. Bringing it in between the hands. We're going to curl the right toes, lift up, then drop the foot at 45. You can whirlwind the arms up. Coming into warrior two, bending that left knee over the ankle, extending out through the fingertips. Try not to lift the shoulders, roll them back and down. And having beautiful, big, deep breath here. Keeping the back leg straight, drop the right hand there, rotate the palm up. Keep the left knee bent as you lean back. Keeping that back leg nice and straight and strong. Taking the chin towards that left armpit and keeping that shoulder soft away from the ear. One more big breath. And inhale, come back up. Release the forearm to the knee. Extend the right hand up towards the ceiling. And then drop the hand either resting into the back, or if you can catch hold of the top of the thigh, bind there. Now push that forearm into the knee, lift and lengthen. Then exhale, rotate, look over that right shoulder. Keep the back leg nice and strong. So engaging the inside of the leg so the outside of the foot comes to the floor. Two more big breaths to go. And then exhale, release. Curl the right toe under, push the hips back, coming into downward facing dog. Woo. Feeling that work. Woo, wow.